Babes, my name is Debony, and this is BlackBoni the Yogi. So today I want to introduce you all to the Sun Salutation A. The vinyasa or flow of Sun Salutation A is a revitalizing, refreshing, awakening flow that marks the beginning of the unionizing between your body and your breath. It helps to heat the body, warm the body, awaken it through the constant rise and fall of not only our bodies, but our breath as well. So this is generally a practice or a flow that you will do at the beginning of your yoga practice to safely warm up your body. In traditional yoga practice, the Sun Salutation A was actually done at sunrise to welcome the day in with the sun. So it's also just a great vinyasa to keep in your back pocket as a practitioner, as an instructor. This can be thrown in throughout the practice to keep that vinyasa, that breath to motion, movement and flow connected throughout a practice. Continuous practice of a Sun Salutation A can aid in strengthening and more flexibility, toning, and mobility of your body. So all around, it's a great flow to know. It's a great flow to, like I said, having your back pocket. So stick around. I'll walk you through the few postures that are Sun Salutation A.
Now I will run through the postures that make up Sun Salutation A. We'll begin standing and move into mountain. Next, we'll forward fold, tucking our navel to our spine. We'll halfway lift, keeping our back flat, plant our hands and step back for Chataranga, high to low push-up. Move into up dog, and then back into down dog. Depending on where you are in your practice, this down dog may include pedaling the feet, being gentle with your back body, elongating your hamstrings, creating space. From here, we'll look at the top of our mat. We'll step there and rise back into halfway lift, down into forward fold, and back up into mountain, arms outstretched overhead. Now, Sun Salutation A is our first introduction to a vinyasa or connecting our breath to motion. So I'll walk you through the breath to motion. We'll inhale, mountain. We'll exhale, forward fold, tucking our navel. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, arch your back, open your throat. Exhale, down dog. Again, being gentle with yourself in this down dog. We'll look toward the top of our mat, hop or step there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, rise, mountain. I also want to introduce to you some modifications that one can take while they are doing Sun Salutation A. Generally, we start with our hands outstretched overhead, but option here to also start in Tadasana with your hands by your side. We're still going to fill up, inhaling, and then we'll exhale, forward fold. We'll inhale again, back to halfway lift, keeping our back flat. Plant our hands. We'll step back here in Chaturanga. Option here to take your knees and practice that low plank with the knee stability. We'll still inhale, rise to up dog, and slowly take ourselves back up into down dog. Here in down dog, there's always an option to keep your knees bent, keep your toes planted on the mat and your heels risen. The purpose here is we want to get our navel closer to our thighs, stretching through the front parts of our shoulders. We'll then again step up to the top of our mat. Inhale, rise to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And again, inhale, rise back up to mountain. Option here to stretch your arms up overhead or stand Tadasana. I hope this helps. Thank you for joining today's Sun Salutation A walkthrough.
Okay, friends, babes, people around the world, I also want to incorporate what I'm calling sweet treats at the very end of my videos here, because yoga is so much more than the postures, right? It's so much more than a workout. And sometimes I struggle with that connection, because when I am instructing, I sometimes think, I don't want to overstep or cross a boundary with my students by getting into philosophy, and frankly, philosophy that I'm very green at. I'm not completely well versed in all of the different aspects of it that I'm learning, and as I learn, I like to share. So I'm trying to step out of my own comfort zone to strengthen and deepen my practice, deepen my ability to teach, show up more authentically, because it's something that really does, the philosophy part of it does interest me. And I think that it is something that's very important. We can't lose sight, we can't lose track of the philosophy aspect of yoga. Otherwise, it does just become a workout. So what I am aiming to do as well is to provide tidbits, sweet treats, at the very end of my videos. Hopefully people stick around for this part, but to help infuse some of that philosophy, little tidbits here and there, small parts that you can grasp and take onward with you throughout your day, throughout your practice, however it is best suited. So today's we're starting pretty easy. I don't know. We're not diving in. We're not talking about, the foundation blocks of yoga, but what we're talking about today is the drishti. So drishti is that focal point, your focus point, your point of gaze, if you will. And this is a lot of times referenced to in balancing postures. You'll hear teachers maybe say, drishti is towards your middle finger, or just find a solid non-moving point to stare at. Well, that's your drishti, your physical drishti, where your eyesight is. The other element of your drishti is your inward gaze, where you are seeing yourself, where you are focusing your innermost thoughts on. And you also want that drishti to be focused, strong, and solid as well, non-moving, especially when we are introducing balancing postures and, not even just balancing postures, just postures that you want to feel, you want to really, let settle into your body. So the drishti is, like I said, that combination between our physical eyesight and our inward gaze. And we want this focal point to be strong and connected. The drishti is also meant to connect our practice to the subtleties of ourselves and of our practice as a whole. I do want to give a couple of examples of your drishti and maybe what that would sound like in practice. So if you are in a warrior 2, maybe your drishti is gazed over your middle finger. If you are in a crow pose, your drishti at that point would be to what we would say is your nose, the center part of your nose. Physical drishti could be on the ground. Let's see, if you are in, even what I instruct my students, if you're in pyramid pose, maybe your drishti is to your back foot, big toe. So that's your physical drishti, a stable, non-moving element. Another example could be your third eye. So when you're in child's pose, even your drishti, but this is that subtle drishti, would be on your third eye, your forehead to the mat. Your drishti could also be, a subtle but physical part. So let's say you're in forward fold, your drishti would likely be to your navel. So you're tucked inward, your eyes may even be closed, but you are directing that energy, that focus to really tuck in your navel, tuck in your belly, and fold forward. So those are just a couple examples of what that drishti is, that connection between your physical focus and your subtle body focus. And the main focus is to look inward. Yoga is way more than just a physical practice. So as you move through your different postures, your different asanas, you want to be able to connect to what the subtle body is, what that energy is. So that drishti, that focal point, that gaze inward is also another element, and one that could help further your practice of self-exploration and strengthen your yoga practice as well. Again, I'm Debony. This is BlackBoni the Yogi, and thank you for joining today's segment around Sun Salutation and our sweet treats around the drishti. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.